Hey there, welcome to Bring Up Berries. What I eat every week really depends on how I am feeling emotionally and physically, the amount of sport I'm doing, and especially what season we are in. But I have realized that there are 5 meals that I prepare every week no matter what. Today we are going to prepare 2 breakfasts and 3 very healthy and light ideas that you can use for dinner or for lunch. Before showing you how to prepare them, I remind you that if you want, you can subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss the healthy recipes I'm gonna be posting every week. You can use these meals to plan ahead your weekly menu, as there are 2 breakfasts and 3 lunch or dinner options. If you leave them prepared on the weekend, it will help you organize and not have to spend a lot of time in the kitchen on the days that you don't feel like it or you just feel more tired. Apple and oatmeal muffins. These muffins couldn't be easier to make. They will take you half an hour to bake and they are packed with fiber, antioxidants, minerals and vitamins. They are perfect to cook over the weekend and enjoy during the week as a snack or breakfast, especially if you're in a hurry in the morning. Let's start by preparing the dry ingredients. You will need 2 cups or about 160 grams of oat flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of cinnamon and a pinch of sea salt. Now prepare the wet ingredients. 1 cup of the milk of your choice. I am going to use homemade almond milk. 1 tablespoon of vinegar. I will use apple cider vinegar and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And finally, of course, we will need apples, between 2 and 3 apples depending on the size. I have used 2. Preheat the oven to 356 Fahrenheit and prepare the tray that you are going to use for the muffins. I am going to use a 6-hole tray. A trick that I like to do is put a drop of oil on my finger and spread it on the muffin tray so that the paper is well fixed to the base. Place the muffin paper, or if you are not going to use it, grease the molds with oil. Start by scooping the 2 cups of oat flour into a large bowl. Remember that if you don't have oatmeal, you can prepare it very easily by putting rolled oats in the processor and processing until you get a fine flour. I am going to post a video in the coming days to show you how to prepare gluten-free flours at home. Then add 2 tablespoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of cinnamon powder, although this step is optional, and finally a pinch of sea salt. Mix the dry ingredients well until everything is well integrated and perfectly combined. Set aside, we will use it soon. Next, we are going to prepare the vegan buttermilk. To do this, pour 250 milliliters of plant-based milk into a bowl and add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar or lemon and mix well. This step is essential in vegan recipes that don't use cow's milk, such as pancakes, cookies, muffins, etc. Let it rest for 10 minutes. You will see that the texture curdles a bit and changes slightly. This is normal and is the goal of this step. Now you can add the 2 tablespoons of olive oil or the oil of your choice. Mix everything very well and don't worry if the oil is not fully integrated. When we mix it with the rest of the ingredients, it will be uniform. Pour the mixture of wet ingredients over the bowl of dry ingredients that you have reserved and combine gently. If you combine very hard, the muffins will not rise at all. Now it's time to add the apples. Grate one of the apples, or if you want, you can also use applesauce. More or less the amount you need is 1 cup. The other apple, cut it into small cubes. My apples are organic and I don't mind the skin on my muffins at all, but if you don't like it, you can of course peel it off. The sweeter your apples, the sweeter your muffins will be. If you want them even sweeter, you can always add maple syrup, honey, or the sweetener of your choice. When you have the grated apple and the apple cubes in your mixture, gently incorporate everything and make sure that the ingredients are well combined and uniform. Now you only have to put the mixture into the molds in your muffin tray. This amount will give you for about 6 to 8 muffins depending on the size of your tray. You can pretty much fill them to the top because they don't rise excessively. As a final touch, I like to add a few oat flakes on top, but if you want, you can add almonds, walnuts, more apple, or just leave them plain. Bake at 356 Fahrenheit for about half an hour. After baked, let them cool so they don't break. And voila, you already have them ready. Oatmeal and apple muffins, sugar-free, gluten-free, nutritious, healthy, light but satisfying and delicious. This is a healthy and very easy way to incorporate fruits and oats into your diet and that of your children if you don't really like eating it naturally. Banana oatmeal pancakes. I eat these pancakes every weekend. They are made very quickly, dense and filling, and use only healthy ingredients. These are the amounts for one person. Adjust the quantities depending on how many people you want to prepare them for. If you don't have oat flour, remember that you can make it, as I already explained, by processing the oat flakes in your processor or high-speed blender. Another alternative if you don't have oat flour is to blend the 3 ingredients in your blender until you get the pancake dough. Use a very ripe banana with brown spots. The more ripe, the sweeter your pancakes will be. Mash it well in a bowl with the help of a fork. If you like to find small pieces, you don't need to mash it completely. Add 1 cup or 80 grams of oatmeal, and this step is optional, but I like to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Mix well with the banana until well combined. Add half a cup of the milk of your choice. I am using my homemade hemp milk. I will leave you the link to the recipe in the description box in case you want to learn how to make your own plant-based milks. Mix gently until well combined. If you see that the dough is too liquid, add a little bit more flour. If it is too thick, you can add more milk. Preheat your pan over medium-low heat, and when it's hot, you can lightly grease the pan with coconut oil, for example. Pour 1/3 of the dough or more if you want them bigger, and cook for about 2 minutes before flipping them. When you see that bubbles appear on the surface and it is easy to insert your spatula without breaking, you can flip them. Cook on the other side about 1 to 2 minutes. And your pancakes are now ready. All you have to do is serve them with your favorite toppings. I like to put banana slices on top, peanut butter, and as a final touch, a drizzle of melted dark chocolate. Lentil burgers. I love pizza and burgers, so since I have discovered that you can enjoy the pleasure of eating a good hamburger that is also nutritious, packed with protein and healthy, and that doesn't contain gluten or oil, I prepare these ones every week. They are very easy to make, they will not take you more than half an hour, and the ingredients that you are going to use are full of nutrients such as fiber, vitamins, antioxidants, minerals, and protein. Lentils have an incredible number of benefits. They are an excellent source of B vitamins, iron, magnesium, potassium, and zinc. They are also a great source of plant-based protein and fiber. These hamburgers are also perfect if you have children who don't like to eat legumes. Preheat the oven to 400 Fahrenheit and prepare a baking tray with parchment paper, or if you don't have, grease it with a little bit of oil. Place your lentils in a bowl and cover them with water for around 2 to 3 hours. Then rinse and drain well. Next, place the drained lentils in your food processor or chopper. Add in 2 cloves of garlic. Chop a small purple onion into a couple of pieces, remove the center and add them to the food processor along with the lentils and garlic. Cut a large carrot into 3 or 4 pieces to help the processor and add them in with the other ingredients. Then pour a tablespoon of tomato paste and add a handful of fresh parsley. Pour the juice of half a lemon and finally add half a teaspoon of paprika, another half a teaspoon of cumin and a teaspoon of sea salt. Pulse first and then process on high until all the ingredients are very well combined and you get an even mixture. You will probably have to open the processor once or twice to scrape the edges with your spatula to integrate the ingredients. Once you have obtained a uniform dough, all you have to do is give it the shape and size of the hamburger of your choice. I use about 1/4 of a cup of the batter and make them about 1 finger thick. Now place them on the tray and bake for about 10 minutes at 400 Fahrenheit and then take them out of the oven. Flip them and bake another 10 minutes on the other side until you see that they are very crispy on both sides. And voila! All you have to do now is serve them as you like. I love to prepare them on whole grain buns. I spread them with tons of mustard, add the lentil burger, and finally place some lettuce, onion, and tomato slices on top. Gluten-free oatmeal and quinoa bread. It is very important to incorporate whole and unrefined grains into our diet on a daily basis due to the amount of benefits they provide to our body. They contain folic acid, B vitamins, zinc, iron, amino acids, and lots of healthy plant compounds. The 8 ingredients that you will need are 3 cups of quinoa flour. If you are going to do it now, you will need 2 cups of quinoa grains that you have to wash very well first so that you don't get a bitter taste. 1 cup of oat flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon of sea salt, 3 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to use coconut, but you can use olive or sunflower. 2 cups of the milk of your choice. I'm going to use the one I made a couple of days ago with almonds. 1 tablespoon of vinegar. I'm going to use apple cider vinegar. This is optional, but it works great. 1 or 2 tablespoons of the sweetener of your choice. I am trying to reduce sugar, so I am using monk fruit, which according to studies is one of the healthiest natural options to replace sugar. Preheat the oven to 392 Fahrenheit and grease well the mold that you are going to use with oil or vegan butter. Mine is 20 centimeters long by 12 wide, and it is made of silicone, which is easier for me to handle, and I have found that it sticks much less. In a large bowl, mix the dry ingredients very well. Quinoa flour, oat flour, baking soda, baking powder, salt, and sweetener if it is granulated. If it is liquid, add it with the wet ingredients. Then add the oil that you are going to use and mix well until they form like small pieces of dough. In another bowl, mix the milk and the vinegar. Add this mixture to the large bowl where you have the dry ingredients and mix everything very well with the help of a spatula until there are no lumps and the mixture is perfectly uniform. Transfer the mixture to your already greased mold, and this step is optional as well, but I would not skip it, and it is to sprinkle it with seeds. I usually use a mixture of sesame, sunflower, flax and pumpkin. Soak your seeds for at least 2 hours before baking to prevent them from burning in the oven. Then strain them to remove excess water and pour them on top of the bread. They will stay put without risk of burning. Cover the bread with aluminium foil or baking paper to prevent the top from burning. If you want it to be toasted, you can remove the paper after half an hour in the oven. Bake for about 40 to 60 minutes depending on the power of your oven. Let it cool for at least 1 hour. Then remove from the tray carefully, and before cutting, make sure that it's completely cold or it will crumble, as it happened to me because I was so impatient. Since this bread doesn't contain any gluten, it doesn't have the spongy texture of traditional wheat bread. But if you get used to it, it is a very nutritious and much healthier option than refined wheat bread. Personally, I don't like to eat it without anything on top, so I use combinations of sweet and salty toppings. I will give you 3 of my favorite ideas. The first one is the avocado and cucumber toast. It is super fresh, perfect for summer, and the combination of creamy avocado, crunchy cucumber and toasted bread is delicious. Open half a ripe avocado and mash it with a fork. Add a drizzle of olive oil, a pinch of sea salt and freshly ground black pepper. Mix it well and now spread it on your slice of bread and place a few cucumber slices on top. Add some sesame seeds to make it even more nutritious, and that's it. Super healthy, filling and delicious toast. The second one is hummus, basil and tomato. I am using my traditional homemade hummus. I like it much more than the one in the stores. It is very nutritious and healthy, and it is much cheaper. After spraying the hummus, add some basil leaves and finally place some tomato slices on top. You can add, if you want, a little tahini on top to give it a creamier touch. This toast is also delicious and it's full of vegetable protein from the quinoa, oat and hummus. And finally, a sweet option, ideal for a snack or breakfast, the peanut butter, banana and chocolate toast. This is one of my favorite combinations. Spread peanut butter on the bread, place a few slices of banana on top, and finally drizzle with melted dark chocolate. It can't get any better than this. Spinach and strawberry salad. Salads are packed with vitamins, fiber, minerals and antioxidants. Start by preparing the ingredients for the base. Chop 200 grams of fresh spinach previously washed and dried. You can chop them or use them whole. I personally like everything finely cut. Then cut 400 grams of strawberries into slices. Cut half a purple onion into very thin slices. Reserve half a cup of almonds or the nut of your choice. Now prepare the dressing. To do this, mix all the ingredients in a jar. 1/4 of a cup of balsamic vinegar, half a cup of extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup or honey, 1 tablespoon of mustard, half a teaspoon of salt. Close the jar, shake well and set aside. Then toast the almonds. This step is optional, but I highly recommend it. Preheat the oven to 356 Fahrenheit and spread the almonds on a lined baking sheet. Bake for about 10 minutes until lightly toasted. Let them cool and chop on a board. If you don't want to use the oven, you can also toast them in the pan. All you have to do now is build the salad. Add all the ingredients you had prepared to a large bowl and mix them well. Pour the vinaigrette on top, but don't pour all of it at once. Test pouring about 1/3, check how soaked it is, and if you want more, you can always add more later. And that's it. You already have 5 ideas for meals, breakfasts, dinners that you can combine and use however you want, complementing with other dishes, vegetables or fruits, and desserts. I will be posting soon sugar-free healthy desserts that are perfect to finish any meal in a delicious and nutritious way. I hope you have really enjoyed this video and these recipes, and don't forget that if you want to, you can always leave me your comments, opinions and suggestions down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I'm gonna be posting many healthy recipes every week. See you soon!